Hi, good morning. So I am voicing over this entire video and it is sped up because of how kind of choppy it was filmed, just because I had, a lot going on when I was making my mother-in-law's cake. She requested red velvet and I was more than happy to make it for her. So this is a really yummy recipe. I will say that I will probably make some changes to it, mostly just to the frosting. And that is just leaving out the almond extract. In the description box, I will leave the recipe for the red velvet cake and the recipe I used for the cream cheese frosting. I have to say, I've not made red velvet cake maybe a couple times in my life. I have not made it frequently, and this cake turned out amazing. It was so delicious. I even added some edible glitter and sprinkles to the frosting to make it more festive and fun. But when I tell you, I was struggling because I wrote down the recipe and then I actually had to go back and watch or read the recipe that I got for the cake. And oh my goodness, I don't know what I was doing when I wrote the recipe down, but I wrote it down incorrect. So I had to rewrite it in my recipe book properly after I made the cake. And I was flip-flopping between checking the recipe in my phone and checking the recipe in my recipe book. You guys, I don't know what happened. So anyways, let me get on and tell you how I made this cake. I combined flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, salt into a bowl, mixed it and set it aside. Then in my mixer, I added oil and buttermilk, eggs and vanilla, vinegar, and mixed it up, added the sugar and mixed it up, and then added my food dye. Once all that was really well combined, that's when I added my dry ingredients. So I added them in little by little, and I, started out with like a small little measuring cup, and then I just ended up picking up the bowl and shaking the rest of it in because I was like, okay, this needs to get mixed in. This is taking too long. Once everything is really well mixed together, I added in some hot water. It looked like it was going to separate, but after about 30 seconds, it came together. After I did all that, I greased my cake pans. I bought parchment paper specifically to put in the bottom of my cake pans. Completely forgot about it. Didn't use it. Forgot my husband literally had just come home from the grocery store with it. So I greased my cake pans, floured them, and then I put my cake batter into it. Now, it is supposed to use 3 cake pans. I recently have been going through my kitchen getting rid of stuff, so I only have 2 cake pans. So I had very thick layers of cake. The cake will go in the oven at 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes. Because I was doing 2 cakes instead of 3, I put them in for about 47 minutes, and they came out perfect. I will say, I did turn on my husband's work fan. Like, he has those DeWalt fans that you put the batteries in. I put one of those on, put it on our kitchen table, and I pointed it at our cakes to help them cool down faster. Because I did want to make sure that my mother-in-law got to have her cake. I didn't want to wait all day and then make her wait super late to have the cakes. So it actually did the trick. Worked perfect, like a charm. So I then, after the cakes completely cooled, see, as you can see right there, 2 cake pans. So I evenly distributed the batter. I was going to slice my cakes down the middle and make it like thin layers and do 4-layer cake. I'm going to let you know, by the time I actually went to make the cake, I completely forgot I decided I was going to do that. So we had a 2-layer cake, but it was delicious. So I don't really think the layers mattered because it turned out really good, in my opinion. The only thing I did not enjoy, but everybody else enjoyed, was the almond extract in the icing. But everybody else really liked it. I'm just particular about almond extract, so maybe that was just a me thing. But anyways, 47 minutes did the trick for 2 cakes, 30 to 40 if you have 3 cakes. But for the cream cheese icing, you take 1 stick of butter, 1 stick of cream cheese, and you beat them together till they're nice and fluffy. You add in your salt, which is 1/4 teaspoon. You add in your almond extract, your vanilla bean paste, and your vanilla extract. Mix it all up, and then you add in 3 to 4 cups of powdered sugar. Once I added in my 4 cups of powdered sugar, I added in about 1.5 tablespoons of milk because I'm not going to lie, it was not coming together so easy. It got really thick, and I don't know, it got really thick. So I went ahead and added 1.5 tablespoons of milk, and it came together perfectly after that. Like I said, I sliced my cakes. I did have a little issue getting the frosting around. I did use Swerve powdered sugar. Probably not going to use that again. I was not a fan of it. It did not spread so easy, and it more so soaked up the liquid than normal powder, more so than normal powder sugar. So I'd probably use normal powdered sugar next time. But the cake did turn out really nice. Like I said, I'm not the greatest with cakes. I can do a lot of baked things, but like decorating cakes is not my specialty. And I love to make everybody's birthday cake. But it did still turn out really cute. My mother-in-law loved it. And that's all that matters to me, is that she was happy with the cake and enjoyed it. And here you will see the pretty edible glitter. I did add sprinkles after this. My husband wrote old with the candles because he's such a comedian. But my mother-in-law got a good laugh out of it. She's always good to really know how to like laugh something off. I love her for that. There goes my husband being so extra. But we did use fun sparkly candles, so that's fun. And yeah, did I add a clip in here of us singing happy birthday? I might not have, but that's probably because my husband didn't send it to me. I was going to put happy birthday, but I didn't. And then there's the cake. Oh, it was good.
Don't forget to check my description box for all my links.